the Innocn 27G1R. It's a very interesting budget gaming monitor offering right now and comes with a price tag of $165 at the moment. If you are on a budget looking for a gaming monitor, that might be a good proposal for you. Hey guys, welcome back to a Hardware Sense channel. My name is Ivan and today we're looking at this gaming monitor from a company that I was not familiar before. This is Innocn. I guess this is how it's pronounced. The model is 27G1R. And this is a 1440p VA panel with 144 Hertz, 1 millisecond response time, and it's supporting FreeSync and G-Sync, all that for the price of $165. Yes, the prices have gone down on those gaming monitors, and I'm really happy because last year and the year before I was buying similar monitors for myself and spending a lot more. Actually double my last monitor I bought from Dell with the similar specs. Yeah, slightly more hertz. I have a 165 hertz monitor, but that's the only difference, and it costed me over $300. Well, now we're getting something like this for 165, and I think this is a great compelling price for what this monitor is offering. Now, I'm not gonna go to your traditional unboxing simply because the box is huge and I can just show it to you real quick. It's very simple, very industrial looking box, which not a lot of frills about it. I'm not really offended if they keep the prices cheap like that, not a big deal. But what's worth mentioning is the monitor inside is very well protected inside the styrofoam shell, which is kind of clamped, and inside the monitor sits. This is the best packaging I've seen. Actually, Dell, LG, Samsung, all monitors I've tested and received in the last couple years don't even come in a similar protection. This way, if the package has been tossing around by UPS or other shipping companies, your monitor is not going to be damaged. You don't have to go through the process of returning it and expecting a new one, which I actually went through this year, again, with a monitor that I received, which didn't have enough protection inside, and obviously the screen was cracked. But long story short, we're gonna move on to this one. You can already see there's some red accents on the back. They're not too offensive. You can change the color, unfortunately, but you have these two light strips on the back, not too bright, and you have two kind of eyes in the front, left and right side. Again, they're not glaring in your eyes. They're not blinding you. They're pointing their light towards the desk, which is kind of nice. If you're playing in a dark room, you will be able to see the stuff around your desk. If you have USB drives or other things around you, this kind of provides a nice look. Another thing that really surprised me is that for that price, you're getting not only FreeSync and Adaptive Sync, but you're getting G-Sync as well. Monitor is automatically being recognized in the NVIDIA drivers, even by model name, and you can go ahead and enable G-Sync and enjoy your games without a lot of screen tear. Now, of course, minor negative here, I've kind of already hinted it. We have only 144 Hertz panel. So if you're really counting on playing very competitive esports games with higher refresh rate, you're gonna have to pay a lot more money. But to me, keep it in on the budget, especially with the resolution. We have 1440p here, which is a 2K monitor with 144 Hertz. For that price, just a few years ago, we were getting 1080p monitors. And now we can finally enjoy a much better resolution, which at the moment 2K is my favorite resolution. I don't think 4K is still a thing, especially for gaming and especially for computer gaming, because what kind of frames you're gonna push? Even with 4090, if you are able to get one today, you're still gonna have a hard time pushing 120 frames on some games, especially modern titles. I'm so used to high frame rates that anything below that 60, I don't want to play 4K on 60. This is just not how I roll. But honestly, if you're sitting about 2 feet away from the monitor, you're gonna have a hard time recognizing which monitor is 2K and which monitor is 4K. Because you're not going to see the pixels. If you get a little closer, about a couple inches away from the monitor, yeah, maybe you're going to pick up the difference. But from the normal playing distance, you're not going to recognize that. And trust me, at 2K, your GPU's going to perform a lot better than at 4K, again, unless you have 4090 and you're a baller. But I mean, I have a 4K monitor right behind me, and when I compare both of them, I cannot see a difference from a normal gaming distance again. But obviously you can see the difference in frames, because this is 60 frames behind me and this is 144, which I much rather have this one when I'm gaming than the 4K. So 2K is ideal, especially at the moment. I think majority of the mid to higher end graphics cards. Personally, I'm a huge fan of 3080. I have multiple 3080s around the house that I'm testing games and stuff like that on. I'm actually gonna have a couple more very obscure ones that hopefully you guys are gonna like as well. But 1440p paired with 3080 is a golden combination. Your CPU is very little utilized, so all the muscle goes to the GPU to be tested. So with this monitor, what else I like? They created a very minimalistic stand. It's all metal. There's no plastic whatsoever. Very sturdy. Mounting it takes a couple minutes. You have 2 screws on the bottom. You have two screws on the top. And they are providing extra screws for both locations in case you lose one or something happens and you strip the screw or something like that. So they're giving you an options. I really like to see that. They're also providing in the box a HDMI 2.0 cable, with which you can go ahead and plug in into one of the 3 HDMI ports in the back. One of them supports HDMI 2.0, the other 2 are supporting 1.4 up to 60 Hertz. The 2.0 is up to 144 on this monitor, obviously. And of course we have DisplayPort 1.2 and audio jack out. So abundance of ports in the back. A lot of budget monitors like that, you will see they only have 1, sometimes 2 ports, not 4. So this is very good option right here. And I use the cable they provided, the HDMI 2.0 cable, plugged it in HDMI port 1, which is the 2.0, and automatically my laptop recognizes it and makes the display at 144 Hertz, and you can go ahead and use it immediately gaming with no problem. Another very good thing that I noticed, hardware crosshair. My much more expensive other monitors don't have that. What that means, a lot of you are familiar, there is a built-in crosshair with different colors and shapes onto the monitor, so you can change and use that instead of having it software based on your game. Personally, I don't have a big preference. I can use either one and they're fine. There's different modes. There's a game mode, there's a movie mode, there's a text mode, there's other ones, but the monitor offers a 99% sRGB, which again is very good if you're a content creator on a budget and you care about color accuracy. Right off the box, the colors are not very accurate. It needs a little bit of tuning, but that can easily be done. If you look at some tutorials online, you'll be good to go. Now, the biggest negative for me for this monitor is the brightness. The maker, as stating on their website, the brightness is about 250 nits. Putting it right next to my 500 nits display on the Lenovo Legion 5 Pro, I can immediately see the difference, how much dimmer this display is compared to the one on the Lenovo. But if you don't have something to like pair it side by side that is that bright, you're definitely not gonna see a massive difference, especially if you have something like 300 or 350 nits other monitor. Catching the difference is not that big. You can boost up the brightness a little bit, and playing games, it looks great. Again, you have to keep in mind, we're talking about a $165 monitor. You cannot go ahead and compare it to some OLED monitors or some IPS monitors that cost 3-4 times more than that. So I think for a budget offering, ideally I would have loved to see 300 nits, maybe 350, but they chose to use this specific panel to 250, and that's the biggest downfall. The rest of it, I absolutely love. The ports, it's very compact and slim. It doesn't have huge bezels. The bezel is actually very thin. The branding is not in your face. Nothing screams really super gaming, other than, you know, obviously these 2 strips in the back, which is fine by me. And of course offers a VESA mount. So if you're like me, if you don't like these kind of stands to be on your way on your desk, you can put an arm and just mount it that way. It's very light, about 7.8 kilos, so pretty much all arms will be able to support it. Minor negative, again, with the stand provided, you will see if I push it down, you know, the monitor kind of tilts slightly and wobbles slightly like this. I'm not sure if that's oversight on their part. I made sure to tighten up the screws well, but this is an issue if you're touching your monitor too much. Obviously, if you want to set it up and forget it, it's not gonna tilt by itself unless, again, you touch it too much, but it's fine. And then you have the obligatory tilt That's the only kind of option you have from that stock stand. You're not going to be able to raise it. You're not going to be able to rotate it on portrait mode. But again, we're talking about $165 monitor. The menu has been controlled by one little knob right on the back. It's very similar to some of my Asus gaming monitors, which the control is the same. It's out of the way, I like it, and it's easy to access. If you put your hand just right behind, you can access it and easy navigate through the menus, which I really like. The menus are simple, a lot of languages are supported. Obviously we have English as well. So yeah, as a conclusion, what can I say? I think at $165, this is an excellent offering. Anybody that wants to keep things in a budget and don't pay too much money, or maybe you want to spend majority of your budget on a brand new GPU, which probably is going to cost you a lot of money these days if you're going for the newer generation. If you're like me and you're more intrigued and trying to get the best possible deal on the older generation, 3080, 3080 Ti, 3090, 3090 Ti, you're probably going to spend less money, but that's a different conversation. This monitor is great if you build up a budget to a mid-range desktop and you, let's say, spend $600 to about $800. Adding this monitor to your budget is still going to be under $1,000 for the whole package. So you're still going to enjoy plenty of good gaming. And I have to say, again, 1440p is an excellent resolution. I've been using it for the last year and a half, and I absolutely love it. It's not putting super pressure on your GPU to push all those pixels for 4K. Still, I think 1440p will remain on top of my list, at least for the next couple of years, until we see maybe generations of GPU that can comfortably push the same amount, 144, 165 hertz, or even more on 4K as well. That's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. I have a great video coming very soon on one of the best Black Friday deals on a gaming laptop. I'm going to test it and compare it to my favorite one from last year, the Lenovo Legion 5i Pro, that I still have and I absolutely love. This one with the RTX 3070. That's pretty much it, guys. And as always, you have a wonderful day.